Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Millie. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I have a few finished objects to share with you. I have a knitted object and some crocheted objects. I also recently bought a new yarn that I've never used before. I'm going to give it a try and I'm going to share that with you as well. I'm also almost finished with my current project that I'm working on, and I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be starting as soon as I am finished with my current project, which probably I'm going to be done with it tonight or maybe early tomorrow morning. And so I'm going to show you what I'm going to be working on next. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to start by showing you the yarn that I mentioned, and this is not a new yarn, but it's new to me. I've never used it before. It's the Premier Puzzle yarn. That's the yarn that I'm talking about. So I've had a lot of YouTubers talk about this yarn, and so I decided to give it a try. And this is a bulky number 5, and it recommends a US 10 or 6mm knitting needles or USJ or 6mm crochet hook. And this a ton of yarn here. It's soft, I like it. And let's see, it's 328 yards, which is 300 meters. It's 100% acrylic, and it's machine wash, cold, and this color is called Dominoes. So that's what it looks like. And I bought one ball of yarn. Probably I'll make a scarf to see if I like it. And I bought it at Walmart. They had a few different colors, but this is the one that caught my eye. So I'm gonna test it, and if I like it, then I'll go back and buy some more. I think it was going for $6.97. So I'm gonna give it a try, and then if I like it, then I'll share that with you. And probably if I like it so much, then I'm gonna buy more and make a blanket. There's a picture of a blanket over here, but I probably can make a scarf with this. So that's the new yarn that I have. Not new, but just new to me. And the first finished object that I'm going to show you is a knitted object. So I've been knitting rompers for babies, and this is my latest finished romper. It's not completely finished. I need to add some buttons here, and I need to add some more up here. So this is a free pattern online. I'm going to leave the information at the bottom. I think you can either go to the blog and look through the blog to knit this pattern for free. I think it's also on Ravelry, but I don't remember if it's for sale on Ravelry. But this romper is, I changed the design, the pattern, because the original romper that's online has 2 colors, but I didn't want to keep changing the colors, so I just used my own design in the middle. So I did a cable in the middle, and I did another cable in the back. And this is, I think this is like 3 months or something, but it's the free one has only one size, I believe. But I think if you go to Ravelry, you might find it in multiple sizes, but you might also have to, you probably pay for it, but I'm gonna check that information, and I'll leave it in the description below. And for this I used Lion brand Feels Like Butta, this yarn. I don't know if you can see the label. I'm gonna leave that information also in the description. This yarn is a 4-weight. It's 3.5 ounces, 218 yards. It's 100% polyester, and it's machine washable. It recommends US 7 millimeters, US 7 or 4.5 millimeter needles. And this, obviously this color is pink. It says pink and rose, so but it's pink. So initially I bought this yarn to crochet a baby blanket, but I didn't like the way it was crocheting, so I decided to knit with it. And I like it better when I prefer to knit with it than crochet with it, because my edges were all out of work. It was kind of, I didn't like the feel of it, and I didn't like the way the blanket was turning out. Even though it's a 4-weight, it feels almost like a DK. It's kind of fluffy, but it feels like a DK, even though it's a 4. And for this I used the recommended needles, which is 7 and 4 which is 4.5 millimeter needles, and I used these signature needles. This is the first time I have these needles. I have been wanting to buy them for a long time, but they're so expensive. So finally last year when I went to the Fiber Fest, I treated myself to one set. And then this year, this company is closing, so they're not gonna be producing these needles anymore. So I'm glad I got myself this set before they went out of business. So they are pretty good, but they cost a lot of money, so I always was reluctant to invest in them. But since I love the color red, and also they are very well made, the tips are really sharp, and so when you're knitting with them they feel very, very smooth. So that's why I bought this set, and I'm glad I did, because now they are not going to be available anymore, because this company went out of business earlier this year. So that's my knitted object that I'm showing you today. And let me show you what else I've been working on. So I have a finished crochet blanket, and this is a baby blanket. It's so warm and fuzzy. I didn't use a pattern on this. It's just single crochet, and then for the border I did linen stitch, but it doesn't really matter because you can really see the stitches because the yarn is so fluffy. So for this I used let me see, where's my label. So for this I used Caron Latte cakes, which is 58% acrylic and 42% nylon. This is the first time I'm using this yarn as well, and I love it. And these are 2 cakes, and that's all that I have left. So this color is Blackberry, and this yarn is a number 5. It's recommends US 6.5 millimeters, US 10.5, which is 6.5 millimeters knitting needles, and for the crochet hook 6.5 millimeters, which is what I used. So I used the recommended needles, and I ended up using almost all of the 2 cakes. I tried to push it as much as I could, but I have this little bit left. So this yarn is let me see how much is in a cake. so let's see. Oh, okay, so it's right here. So it's 8.8 ounces, 250 grams, 530 yards. So I used more than 1,000 because that's all I have left. And I loved working with it. And I haven't measured this blanket, but it's a good size for a baby. And when I bought this yarn, I bought other colors, and I'm gonna go back and buy some more because I really love it, and probably make some more baby blankets or even a scarf. It would make a really nice fluffy scarf. So that's my second finished object, which is fluffy. It's for a baby, so it's gonna be going to the owner pretty soon. Okay, the other third object I have is a crochet blanket. So this is a simple, I wanted a simple pattern, and I used Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, and this color is hot rose. That's the color, but when I bought it, I didn't even look at the label because I'm making it for my daughter and she wanted hot pink, and I thought this was hot pink, but it still looks like hot pink even though the name is hot rose, which is, to me, this is still hot pink. And I used, this is the last bit of my fourth ball of yarn, so I don't think I'm gonna use up everything. I'm gonna have a little bit left because I'm almost done with the border. And whenever I'm working with a ball of yarn, I always wide it into a cake, and sometimes it unravels a lot, so I've been using old stockings to keep it together. I don't know, leave a comment down below and let me know how you preserve your yarn. Like, do you put it in a stocking or how do you keep it? Because if I don't do this, I know there are some nets you can buy on Amazon, but I keep meaning to buy, but I haven't bought them yet. But meanwhile, I don't want to keep on widening my yarn, so I decided, I think I saw it somewhere on YouTube, some two sisters were talking about the old stockings that they use them for their, to hold their cakes, and I decided to give it a try, and it's working well so far, so I don't have to go back and wide it all over again, which is what I have to keep on doing once it starts to unravel and fall apart. So that's all I have left, which I'm gonna use probably most of it. So this blanket, I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook, which I believe might be what's recommended on the label. Let me check. Okay, so it says use 5 millimeter knitting needles, which is a US 8 or UK 6. Use 5.5 millimeters crochet hook, which is US 9 or UK 5. And this is 5.5. It's working perfectly for this yarn. And I've used this yarn before a lot. I usually go to Hobby Lobby when it's 30% off week, unless it's an emergency, but I can always wait. And so I got it at 30% off, which is a good deal. And I cast on 100. I chained 100 for this, and then because I didn't want it to be so boring just doing single crochet, I decided to do 10 rows of single crochet and 10 rows of crossed single crochet. So I don't know if you can see that clearly, so to break the monotony. So that's what I've done on this blanket. And then for the border, I am just using front loop and back loop, and it's looking good so far. So I should be done with this today or tomorrow, and then after that it's on to the next project. So far I like this, and my daughter likes it, and she's been asking me, is that almost done? When are you gonna be done with it? And I said, I'm gonna be done with it today, and we can wash it and you can have it. So that is my almost finished object. Now after I'm done with this, I'm gonna be making another blanket, and this is what I am going to use. So for some reason I have been crocheting a lot this year. I do knit and crochet, and in previous years I've done more knitting, but this year I find myself doing a lot of baby blankets. And so I'm going to be starting a new blanket, and I have this yarn that I bought at Hobby Lobby when they had the big sale earlier this year, and I believe this is a discontinued yarn now. It's by Yarnspirations. It's a Banat Casa is the name. I've used it before to make a blanket. I bought the pink one, but this was all they had left, and so I got everything they had left, because normally this retails for $11.99, but I got it for $2.99. So I got 3 of these. So it's called Banat Casa, but I think it's discontinued now. I believe so. But I think Joann's and Walmart and Hobby Lobby were carrying this yarn. And so this is by Yarnspirations. It's a 78% polyester, 22% acrylic, 170 yards. It's a number 6, so it's super bulky. And this one is called Turquoise, and it's recommending 8mm crochet hook, 8mm knitting needles, or US 11. So it says, let me see, it's machine washable and dryable. I have made a blanket for my grandbaby with this, and it stood the test of time. I love it. It has different textures. So I have 3 of the turquoise, and you can see it's almost falling apart because it was on the sale rack. It was the earlier this year when when Hobby Lobby were doing their clearance sale. So that's when I got this, and then I got this color, which is, let me see, cream. So I'm gonna mix these together. I don't know yet how I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna stripe it, or if I'm gonna use one, if I'm gonna do a block of these and then a block of these. I'll figure it out. I don't have a pattern. I'm just gonna single crochet throughout, because there are so many textures in these, and so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible because I want to finish it quickly. And so that is what I'm going to be doing, probably starting tomorrow, and I'm gonna show you how the blanket turns out next time. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you like this content, consider subscribing. And until next time, happy knitting, happy crochet, and happy yarn shopping.